Eliminating the parameter, it's really just a fancy way to say, let's get rid of this third variable t. And eliminating the parameter, it's really just a fancy way to say, let's get rid of this third variable t. And of course, if you get rid of the third variable t, you're back to two variables, x and y, which means your final answer can just be some type of either x equals equation or y equals equation. Well, don't think that you have to learn some kind of brand new math to work with parametric equations. It's just algebra. It's understanding that this equation x equals 24 root 2 of t, well, that equation, if you solve it for t, just divide both sides by 24 root t. So if you solve that equation for t, you now have an expression, of course, that equals t. And what can you do with that? That's correct. You can substitute it in. Notice that when you substitute that expression in for t, you're not going to have t anymore. You're just going to have x and y. Now, we, of course, want to do it carefully. So we're going to carefully plug in x over 24 root t. Of course, that means it's still being squared. And over here, I can plug in x over, I'll use some parentheses just to keep it organized, x over 24 root 2. So again, the t, the parameter, it's technically been eliminated. It's no longer in the equation. But we need to simplify this. Not only should, but we need to simplify it. So if you square x, of course you get x squared. If you square 24, you're going to end up with a big old 576. And if you square the square root, you just get 2. Now over here, we get some cancellations, right? You're going to be able to basically cancel, well, everything but x. So we'll end up with just x. Simplify it a little bit more. We're talking about multiplying and dividing these numbers. You're basically going to end up with 1 over 72. 1 over 72, though, it's just going to look like x squared over 72 plus x. That looks a lot like the equation that we, oops, I lost my negative sign. That looks a lot like the equation that we started with. Of course, that equation will graph the same as our parametric equation, which is actually what we're going to kind of talk about a little bit more in the next module. Exactly how do you graph a parametric equation really without your calculator. All right, but this is how you eliminate the parameter.